Hi everybody, Alex here from Expert Forex, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the upgrade to the receiver robot used in our Link to Success service. So in this video I'm going to show you how to install the upgrade, and I'm also going to go through some of the settings from the new upgrade, and we'll also be looking at a few tips and tricks of MetaTrader. Now, to receive the Link to Success signals and trades, you need a receiver robot. And that is the one that we're going to be looking at right now. So I'm going to dial into one of my computers. Okay, so now here we are on one of my computers. As you can see, there's about 20 FBS real accounts trading here. So what I'll do is I'll open the first account here, and as you can see, the profit retriever here has version 2.2 loaded. Now the new version is 2.3, and I'm going to be showing you how to upgrade to 2.3. It's very easy, you don't need to do much. But before that, let me just show you what the settings are that I'm currently using. And the main setting is, and let me open it up completely. The main setting is I'm linking to link 96 here. It's trading the euro, and I'm using a lot factor of 1.5. I'll talk about that later. So those are the main settings that I'm using right now, and we just click OK, and it is all fine. So let's go and download the upgrade version. Now, in order to do that, you need to sign into the My EA Factory account. So that's what's happening there. There's the address that you need to go to, and then you sign into your account. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm in my account there. You can see, hi Alex, and here are the products that are available through EA Factory. And you can see here, if I don't own a particular product, it says click here to buy, click here to buy. If I do own the product, then it says click to download, click to download. So we go through this list, and over here is the trade receiver. You might not have such an extensive list, but here it is. You go to the Expert Forex Trade Receiver, and I click on download. Then I get the download page. You can read through that. It works with a license. It's a licensed robot, and what I'm interested in is downloading the new version. So I say I accept the terms, and there you can see that is 2.3, and I can either choose the MT5 version, download that, or I can choose the MT4 version. So I'm going to do the MT4 version. Just click that, and it downloads into my download folder, or alternatively into the bottom left hand side of the screen. So I'm going to go straight from the bottom left hand side of the screen, click on it, and it will open up, and we say next, and then we accept all the terms, and then it says which platform do you want to load this new version in. And as you can see, I must have at least 50 or 60 platforms on this particular MT4 platform. So instead of loading them one by one, you can just say install to all of the MT4 instances. So it'll just install it on all of the platforms that there are. And then you click on next. And it says I'm going to do it into those folders, and you say install. And then it comes up with an error message that says, sorry, I can't do any installations when the folder is open, when the platform is open. So then you just say, sorry, I'm going to cancel this. And you go and close all the platforms. Now, I can open them very quickly because I've got all the icons of all the platforms here. So it's not a big thing for me to close them. There are all the icons. So all I do is I go and close them one by one. And it's not a problem. You just close them like that. All right, so now I don't have any open MT4 platforms. So now that won't be a problem. Now, so in order to go to the program this time, I have to go into the download folder, and there it is. There's the download folder. I click on it again, and it opens again, and I go start the process again. I say, yes, that's fine. I click yes, I want to go into all of them. It says yes, I'm going to install it in those ones. It does it this time with no problem, and it is finished. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open all of them again. So I go like this, and I won't waste your time. Okay, and there they are, all back to normal, and let's go and see what has happened. So we go into this one that we looked at earlier, and there you can see that the trade receiver is updated automatically to 2.3. Don't have to make any changes to the settings, it just happens automatically, and there we are. That's all you need to know. And then a check that you can make is you can say, is the link active? There is the active link, and there is the trade receiver. It has a smiley face, and that is all that you need to do. That is all that it takes to upgrade to the new version. Now, the new version is not a compulsory upgrade because it is just an enhancement on some of the settings, and I'll show you which ones they are. Your old version will trade pretty well as it is, but I would suggest that you keep pace with the upgrades. So let's go and have a look at the latest upgrade. Okay, now there are very few settings in the trade receiver, and all you have to tell it, it has to know which link you want to link to. Now, there is the link that I've had in before, and it still is. That's what you enter in. Now, just be careful. Sometimes when people copy and paste, they have a space behind the 6. There would be a space there, and then it won't work. The link has to look exactly as it looks on the list of linkable accounts. So let's go and have a look at the linkable accounts. Okay, so here we are on the link to success page. There is one way of finding this one. It's Forex Trading alerts.com, and all you would do then is you would go down on this page, and so there are the robot traded accounts that you can link to, and here is the list of linkable accounts. There they are, and all you have to do is type in the link name that is shown there. If you're not sure about which accounts to link to, we have created a short list and ranked the short list according to criteria that would be meaningful for deciding which accounts to link to. And there we are, for instance, link 12, but there's a short list of I would say about 12 accounts that you can link to if you need assistance in that particular area. Okay, so that's where you find the link, and on that same list you will also see which currency is being traded. And let's go back to that list, and again we'll go back to this list and we'll say, all right, link 12 for instance, it is the Aussie yen that's being traded, or 106, it is the pound yen. So you know which currency. So that's where you get that information from. And link 96 is the euro. Okay, so that's all. Those are the most important items. Then I'll come back to the others soon. Then the third most important item is, what lot factor do you want to use? Now, if you are using a $10,000 account, the trader that you link to is trading on a 10,000 account. So what you would do is you would have maybe a 1 would be a good starting point, because you want to be the same as that trader. So that trader is trading a $10,000 account, you've got a 10,000, so your lot factor would be 1. Now, in my particular case, I have a balance here of $14,000, or let's say $15,000. The broker, however, has given me a bonus. The broker's given me a bonus of just over $10,000. So my equity, which is my balance plus my bonus, is actually $25,000. So I am not trading 10,000, I'm actually trading 25,000. So I could rightfully put in here 2.5 as my lot factor, because to keep it in line, the ratios in line. So that's in fact what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put 2.5, I'm going to put 2, because what that would do is actually give me an extra buffer of about $5,000. So that is just my own preference. If you want to be conservative, you can just keep that at 1 at all times. So that's how that setting works. It's basically related to the minimum account that you're following. All right, so then the next setting here is, do you want to trade in the same direction as the signal provider or in the opposite direction? I would suggest you always trade in the same direction. You can get into serious trouble if you don't do that. So here is the most important part that has resulted in the upgrade. What has happened is that a lot of clients have asked us from time to time, we want to change service providers, but we don't want to sit and wait until the situation is 0 for our trading before we can change our signal provider. So we've now said there are now 3 options. You can execute, non-stop, and all sender strategy. So that's the normal mode. Once you link, you just want to follow the person all the time. So the next one is execute and stop when the run equity is reached. In other words, you're saying to the EA, stop when the run equity is reached. Now the run equity is basically each run, and I'll just move it, see if I can move it to the side here. You can see this is an active run. There's an active run. When the active run reaches its target, that is when you want it to stop. So that would apply to that particular option. Then there's the one execute and stop upon the sender closing all trades and the run equity is reached. So in other words, the sender decides, hey, I'm going to close all trades right now, and when that happens, you want to stop. Now, and the reason for that, the sender sometimes closes all trades well after the equity run equity is reached and makes a profit, or that they might in certain circumstances close early and make a small loss. So, but at that particular point, you want to stop the EA from trading in either of those 2 cases, and it will then stop. And then you can go and change the settings. You can then change to another link and that type of thing. So those are that is the upgrade. Very few people will actually use that setting, I think. I've never used it, but certainly that is something that has been requested. All right, so now let's have a look at some other of the settings. And here we have, here's an empty one, broker symbol, market symbol. So for instance, there are cases where traders might be trading the NASDAQ. So or the signal provider might be trading the NASDAQ. So that's just what the signal provider would look like. But your broker doesn't have that for the NASDAQ. Your broker calls the NASDAQ, which is quite legitimate, calls it the US 100. So now what you're telling the EA is you're saying, I know I'm trading that, but my broker symbol is that for that symbol. And then if you're doing that, you set this to manual. So in other words, you basically say, I am manually overriding that symbol with my own symbol, and you set that to manual. That's how that works. It's very simple. It's also one that people battle with, but that is how you do it. If your broker calls a symbol something else, then that is exactly what you do. And I'll just put this all back because this is a live trading account. Let's put that back, and that was a euro. Okay, so then we get to the next one, which is very similar. Sometimes brokers would have a symbol. They wouldn't call it the Euro USD. They would call it the Euro USD .x. You know, just for instance, .x. So it's saying therefore that that would be the suffix. So your symbols will all have a .x. So you just enter the suffix in that particular block. Or there would be the euro, there could be a suffix in front of that. That could be X euro Oz, so then you enter that. Now also remember that, as you've seen earlier, besides loading down the actual EA, you can also download the user manual. Now if you have any problems with any of these settings, download the user manual and it will clarify all those settings very clearly. So I've already made a mistake here. Let's just type that in and get rid of that. So everything is for me is now right. I can actually start trading again. This is fine. I've actually upped the lot factor, so that's going to be interesting. I am in the middle of a run, but I'm not too worried about that. So that should work quite nicely, and I'll just say okay. So that's how the upgrade works, and that is how the settings work. And as I say, please use the user manual if you're still uncertain. If you are still uncertain after watching this video and using the user manual, please contact support@eafactory.com for technical assistance. Okay, so I think that's about it. Now there are a few little odds and ends that I want to show you. For instance, when you're trading the link service, you actually, in your market watch, you only need the charts that are being traded. In fact, I don't even need that one. I can change that. I think let me change that to the euro. Okay, that's the euro, so I don't even need the franc. So what you do, and normally the default is to have a lot of these symbols over here, and for instance, let's see, show all. So you could yours could look like this, and one of the things that this does is it results in a feed. You can see every single price is being updated here all the time, so it cuts into your resources, especially if you're using a VPS. This is the main area where VPS traders really mess their resources up. So what you do is you just go to the symbol, right click on it, and you say hide all, and it will hide everything except the ones that you're currently using, and therefore you won't be updating all of those charts that were listed previously, and that will that cause a huge drain on your resources. So that's number one tip I wanted to show everybody. Then the other thing that you might have noticed is I've actually described which each account is doing. Now how do I get that over there? Now that is basically the name of the profile that is being traded, and here is the icon for profiles. I think you can also most probably access them from there. So I'm just going to show you how. So how do I change the name of this profile? I just go in here and I say save profile, and you go in. Now this one is called link. There we are. So you type in what you want to call it. And I always try and call it what it is. This is FPS platform number 10. I'll give it a platform number, and it's linked to 96. And I say OK, and it's OK. It can overwrite it. And there we are. That's how I get the names, because it's pretty handy. You might not trade as many accounts as I do, but it's pretty handy to have that, so that you can find your platforms very easily. The other thing is it's for this type of trading, the profit retriever in a linked account environment, you want maximum leverage, but you also need to take advantage of broker bonuses. Now this particular broker, FBS, gives 100% bonus. So besides the money, my own money that I've put in, it's given me 100% credit, and therefore my equity is up to 25,000 now. And as you've seen, I'm then basing my lot size linking on the 25,000, and I've adjusted my linking accordingly. So it gives you a leg up, it gives you a fast start into the trading. Not something you should rely on too much, but it certainly gives you a quick start. And especially this account is on the race to 1 million, and a good start like this really will give it a good boost to the $1 million level. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you some guidance on how to upgrade your receiver EA. Also, and you can also upgrade it on lots of platforms all at once. You don't have to do it one by one. You don't have to do anything else, because the settings will just automatically be the same as your previous settings. So that's the number one thing. The other thing that I showed you here were a few tips on MetaTrader management and resource management when you're trading big amounts like I have here. And also we've gone through the settings. Again, I must emphasize, don't forget to read the user manual if you run into any problems, not only the setting problems, any problems that you might have. Just another quick one that I need to mention here, and let's select another one. I know number 12 is doing pretty well, you can see there. So all right, there are no error messages there, but if you encounter any error messages at the top there, the first thing you must do is read them. Just read them, because many of the error messages tell you exactly what to do to resolve the error message. So first thing to do, read them, listen to what they're saying, and do what they're saying. So they would most probably say, your link description is wrong. Now that's quite obvious. So you've either typed in a space at the end, or you've typed your link that you're linking to incorrectly. Just go there and correct it. So the error message tells you what to do. There might be error messages that you don't understand or don't know what to do with. All you do then is you click on the chart, you open the Expert Advisor or press F7 as it says there, and you just click on OK. Now in 90% of the cases that error message will disappear, because it's just a little hiccup in the trading system, and it's just communicating with you and saying, sorry, your broker held me up because he wouldn't let me take the trade immediately. He made me wait 10 seconds or something like that. So there's nothing you can do about it. It's history. But if you click on OK, it will take that error message away. So that's another little hint that I can think of during this particular video. So I hope you're enjoying this linking service as much as I am. It really has changed the way trading is for many people. And so from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.